Hospitals, places of healing, but also places where the line between life and death grows thin. The stories you are about to hear are real, documented experiences, but be warned that they may stay with you long after the video ends. It was 2 a.m. on a quiet, uneventful night shift, at least until the man in room 409 stopped breathing. The patient had been unconscious for weeks after a severe car accident. No visitors, no family. He was kept alive by machines. Then, the monitors flatlined. The nurses rushed in, but couldn't bring him back. They called time of death. But just as they were about to leave the room, one nurse heard it. The sound of deep breathing right next to her ear. When they returned to the bed, the man was sitting up, staring directly at them, his eyes wide open. The doctors confirmed he had been dead for over 3 minutes. The patient never moved again, but no one could explain how his body had sat up or what was breathing that night. Sarah, a nurse in her mid-30s, was finishing up a double shift, exhausted. All she wanted was to make it through the last few hours, but she couldn't shake the feeling she was being watched. In the break room, she saw something odd. A tall man, standing at the end of the hall, just staring. She blinked, and he was gone. She brushed it off as exhaustion, until the next night. The same man appeared, always in the same spot, always watching. It wasn't until her final shift at the hospital that she learned the truth. There had been a man, a former doctor at the hospital. He was fired after multiple mysterious patient deaths. He disappeared before the authorities could arrest him. No one knows what became of him, but Sarah is certain of one thing. She was never alone on those night shifts. Hidden beneath the hospital, there was a ward no one spoke of. It was once used for patients with no hope of recovery. Now, it sat abandoned. Or so they thought. A group of young interns dared each other to explore the forgotten ward, hoping for a thrill. What they found was far more than they bargained for. As they moved deeper, they began hearing things. Soft murmurs, the sound of footsteps. But when they turned around, no one was there. One of them spotted something in the distance, the shadow of a figure hunched over, moving slowly down the hall. They followed, convinced it was another prank. But then the smell hit them, rotting flesh. They found a room at the end of the hall. In the corner, one bed was still occupied. The figure, now lying perfectly still. They ran. No one has dared return since, and the hospital denies any knowledge of the ward. But it still exists, waiting in the dark for anyone brave or foolish enough to return. Sometimes, what we can't see in the hospital is far more terrifying than anything medicine can explain. These stories may just be the tip of the iceberg. Be careful where you wander. Some things are better left forgotten.